The countdown is on. People all around Maine are buying food, decorating their homes, planning out what their Thanksgiving Day will look like. Thanks for joining us on News Center Maine Plus. I'm Brian Yacono. At the center of most people's celebrations will be a big feast. So today we're bringing you tips for the table to keep you safe and to minimize waste this holiday season. One of the traditions a lot of people do every year is deep frying a turkey. There are a lot of positives to doing that. It doesn't take a lot of time, minimal steps, and of course it tastes great. But deep frying a turkey can also be very dangerous. Aaron Myler turned to the experts for some advice for a Thanksgiving edition of Myler Makes It.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Aaron Myler here with News Center Maine with Portland Fire Marshal Jason Grant. We're learning how to deep fry a turkey because from what I've been told, this is one of the most dangerous things we can kind of do this time of year.
It sure is.
Before we even connect the propane tank, you gotta start off by a little trick with some water to just make sure you avoid some problems.
One of the things that a lot of people do wrong with frying a turkey is not putting the right amount of oil in the fryer. So when they put the turkey in the fryer, it spills over the side and ignites.
So you're gonna see how high you wanna go with, instead of hot oil, we're gonna do this with water. And how high do you generally wanna go with this?
Right to the top of the turkey.
So whenever we actually eventually remove this, the whole concept is, look how much less oil there would be in there than you actually have once you put the turkey in.
Go ahead and put a sticker, or in this case, a sticky note, to mark the level before we dump out the water and get ready to put the oil in and fry.
And that way we're just gonna go up to here.
Correct.
When we put the oil in.
Yep.
Cool, let's dump this out.
All right. Next step would be the oil.
So cleaning out the pot, dried it out was the key also. We got paper towels, so it's really dry before we start to put oil in with water. They don't mix
Correct.
well.
The temperature of the oil will be about 350 degrees. Water boils at 212 degrees. So any little bits of water in there will make that oil bubble more than it should. So one of the things to also talk about is we're filling this full of oil before we start our fire.
That makes
if we
sense.
spill anything or anything like that, there's no oil getting on the burner at this point because the burner's off.
We're still not even connected to the propane, you guys.
Then we're going to connect the hose. It's hand tightened all the way in. Next step would be to make sure that your burner is turned off. Turn it all the way open, and then we're gonna check your connection. So get a little bit of soapy water.
If there was problems, we'd notice something happening.
Correct. We'd see bubbles coming out if any gas was leaking in there. Gas is connected and ready to go. So one of the things with a turkey fryer is you want to keep the gas tank as far away as you can get. In case you have a problem with your turkey fryer, you can shut off the gas at a safe distance away.
Stay on if you let it go now.
Make sure that you're dressing for the event. Closed-toed shoes, long pants, long sleeves. Plan your location. You want to make sure you're far enough away from any combustibles, that you have a nice stable base for your turkey fryer. You don't need to move it. It's going to be there for the day. Make sure it's done outside. All of these turkey fryers that are on the market are designed to be used outside. They also produce carbon monoxide, so don't use them inside your house at any point.
You guys, the oil's at temperature, so next thing is safety.
Safety.
Get on some goggles or glasses, some gloves. Before we even put the turkey in, there's one other important step.
One of the most important things that you can do, because adding the turkey is one of the most dangerous times for this, is shut off the burner when you put the turkey into the oil fryer.
So am I literally just putting this in now?
Yes.
So, okay.
Nice
Now you said
and
nice and
slowly.
slow.
Yep.
You might want a friend to help you slowly. Take off the hook. That's why we have gloves on. And now we're frying.
Now you're frying. First step, we want to turn off the burner. Remove the ignition sources.
And then we're just going slow because you want the oil to all drip off, you said?
Yeah, let all the oil as much as possible drip right off.
This part's less scary. Thanksgiving's ready. So we just finished deep frying the turkey. Now it's a thank you for helping us do this. Here is a turkey for you and all your people. Enjoy it, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That was Aaron Myler. Now, maybe your family isn't planning to deep fry a turkey this year. Maybe you're planning to just stay inside and use the oven. Even with that method, there are still steps you can take to make sure you and anyone you're cooking for stay safe and healthy. UMaine Extension food specialist Jason Bolton shared the proper steps in preparing and cooking your turkey. First, make sure it is fully thawed before cooking, and you don't want to do that by just leaving it out on the counter. Instead, Bolton recommends you place it in the refrigerator. Second, clean any surfaces that the turkey may come in contact with. That includes your hands, utensils, and the countertops. Next, use an instant thermometer to ensure that turkey is in fact fully cooked to a temperature of about 165 degrees. Now, some turkeys do come with one of those pop-up timers. However, you should still use a thermometer to check the temperature. Bolton says following these best practices is crucial to preventing foodborne illnesses.
The pathogens that you have to be concerned with are Salmonella and Campylobacter for the most part. I would say those are the two common ones. And really what people need to know is that those pathogens that can be associated with poultry products are something that you can get very sick from, even a healthy individual. But specifically, some of your older seniors and also young children.
If you are stressed about getting the turkey perfect, though, don't worry. It seems a majority of Americans really don't care about the bird after all. According to Campbell's State of the Sides report, 67% of Americans prefer side dishes to the main entree. The report also found that most Mainers prefer stuffing and dressing over all else. Meanwhile, our neighbors in New Hampshire, they look forward to those traditional mashed potatoes. And recently, there was a big jump nationally in people who favor mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. Now, no matter what you prefer to eat on Thanksgiving, there's almost a guarantee that you'll have some degree of leftovers in your fridge. Those leftovers are only safe to eat for a certain period of time, though. Brandon Lewis from our Verify team looks into it.
Thanksgiving was a time to come together, give thanks, and eat way too much turkey. In fact, most people don't eat everything on the dinner table, with the National Resources Defense Council estimating 200 million pounds of turkey will end up in the trash. So it's no surprise a top trending question on Google is about leftovers. But let's verify. Are leftovers safe to eat all weekend? Our sources are the USDA, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and a postdoctoral associate of food safety at Virginia Tech, who explains the time to think about storing leftovers starts almost immediately after Thanksgiving dinner is served.
Right away would be ideal, but if possible, within 2 hours, you want to refrigerate those leftovers, especially making sure to break down any larger pieces of meat.
Duong says it's okay to put food that's still hot in the refrigerator. If properly stored, the Mayo Clinic says leftovers will hold for 3 to 4 days. So it's true, leftovers are safe to eat all weekend if properly stored. Anything longer, and the USDA warns dangerous levels of bacteria start to grow. The CDC says cases of food poisoning caused by Clostridium, which grows in cooked foods, peak around the holidays. Many outbreaks are tied back to turkey, roast beef, and other leftovers. So if you don't think you can eat the leftovers by Monday, consider portioning it out and freezing some right away.
A freezer is sort of like a win-win situation where you sort of are able to keep food at that peak freshness for a lot longer compared to a refrigerator.
With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Those leftovers are one of the best parts. Now, for a lot of you, Thanksgiving also marks the transition to the Christmas rush. However, these weeks between the holidays can be full of waste. In fact, according to a Stanford University study, Americans throw away 25% more trash between Thanksgiving and New Year's than any other time of year. Back in 2018, former News Center Maine reporter Hannah Deneen looked into what Mainers can do to have what's called a zero-waste holiday season.
Tip number 1, when thinking about decorations, natural is best. Thanksgiving and Christmas in particular are great times to decorate with gourds and natural wreaths. When you're all done, just throw them in the backyard or compost. Tip number 2, avoid food waste by planning ahead. In the US, about 40% of our food is wasted, and that problem gets even bigger during the holidays. So speak with the people you're spending your holiday with to make sure you have a diverse array of options and nothing is wasted. And don't forget to take advantage of delicious holiday leftovers. Tip number 3, experiences make great zero waste gifts. So think about a concert or tickets to the big game, membership to an art museum, or a series of workout classes. If you do give a material item, make it zero waste productive, like a reusable mug or a plant in a ceramic or glass pot. Tip number 4, wrap with recyclables. We all have a newspaper lying around, and a friend from out of town might be curious to see what kind of news is being talked about in your area. Or, if you wrap with the funnies, it's a 2-in-1 gift. Ultimately, just be mindful, and we can all have a happy holiday with a little bit less waste.
And we thank you for watching News Center Maine Plus. Remember to check back in here regularly to connect with us on our latest projects. Most of all, we hope you have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving.